Your mustache and then
It's coming. It's coming. It's only been 5 days, so yeah, that's good.
Have you ever grown full one before?
Yeah, I had one at Miami during the COVID year. I came back and I had a good little twirl going with it, so kept it on until we lost to Clemson at Clemson. I was like, this mustache kind of looks stupid. I better shave it off. So that's
What's your room like this year with Tanner and Preston, especially kind of locked in this competition for, another fall camp? It seems like familiar territory in a way.
Yeah, kind of hit it right there. Extreme competition. The guys are asking a ton of questions. Why does this look like this? What should we do in this scenario? What kind of hand signals can I do with these guys? What is really the down and distance scenarios that these are being called in? Like all the situational stuff. It's kind of what we came into camp was like, hey, we're not only just installing plays, but we're installing why we're doing something. Like this is a P and 10, this is a P and 10 thought, this isn't an every down thought, this is a third down deal, like you guys saw today. So that's been good because that's a different level of quarterback play. There's one thing to know where your reads at and what your footwork and eyes and all that kind of stuff, but to know the reason why we're calling certain things, that's kind of the next level we're trying to get to.
Is that phase one, to try and get there, or when you have a new staff and a new system, or is that maybe advantageous to try and do early on to get to that point where it's not just, hey, do this, but why we're doing this?
Yeah, I think when you first come in the spring, you're trying to establish foundation of like where do my eyes go, how does my footwork work, where's everybody at, that kind of stuff. And then as we go through the whole summer, which this summer was different, we got a lot of work with our guys as a unit, and so we had a lot of practices essentially with our guys. So we came into the fall camp like, hey, it's kind of like we know where our eyes and feet are supposed to be at now. Here's the reasons why, and that kind of stuff. So kind of the next step after that. Yeah.
Have you seen any kind of separation between Tanner and Preston, or whether it's days or just over a course of days where one of them will have a better day, or just kind of what have you seen from those two as they seem to kind of battle it?
Yeah, they're two extreme competitors. It doesn't matter if they're with the ones or the twos. It doesn't matter. You can throw them out there with the threes, and they're trying to win everything they do. That's what I appreciate with them. It doesn't matter. Whoever we throw them in with, they're going, and they're cheering for their other guy. That's the biggest thing I've seen is that they get excited for each other when they're in. You know what I mean? And then when Kevin goes in, it's like, oh, my gosh, like a little brother, like, oh, yeah, dude, like fire it up. You know what I'm saying? So I've talked about this before, building the camaraderie in the room and guys pulling for each other and coaching each other and talking to each other. I'm not the only coach out here. They're the other coaches, right? They see things as a player. And so that's been the focal point, right, when we're out here on the field. So just a lot of really good competition.
And is that maybe the biggest difference between quarterbacking? We talk about the ton of receivers in depth and running backs in depth. They're going to rotate throughout games.
Yeah.
Quarterback, generally speaking, you're not going to do that. Does that make it kind of harder to build that camaraderie?
Oh, there's no doubt, because you as a quarterback, if you feel like I'm going to be the guy, and I feel like I got to look over my shoulder. Instead, it should be like, hey, I am the guy. And hey, here's what I did when I was your age. Hey, don't look at this read, look at this, right? And to help, your job is to make sure our team's the best it can be. And that's hard. Because really in our day and age, everything's like selfish. And to be selfless and help the other guys in the room, that's a hard thing to do. We're getting that. So